That's what we're here for, isn't it?
I guess so. It's also National Cheddar Fries Day, which is a perfect snack for 420. And of course, that's right, it is 420 all day today. Thank you all for joining us and getting high at 9 with us. It's also high noon on the East Coast. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us on all social media platforms. You can use that fancy little QR code right there in the corner of your screen to find out where we all live on the internet. And we're live every Monday through Friday on YouTube and audio only on Clubhouse. And if you are joining us in Clubhouse, you can also raise your hand if you have a brief comment on the story most recently presented. But without further ado, we got a bunch of hot stories for you today on this special day of 420. And we're going to get right into it. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte, who loves to play 420 games, but always makes sure to do that strictly with adults. Totally excludes his children in all of his 420 games. That's right. It is the dope dad himself, Rico Lamitte.
Thank you, Jason. So my story is on the hill. I know Gretchen Gailey is always on the hill, and she has some great news for us today, too. But mine is about an 80-year-old man, Joe Biden. With all due respect to those among us who've been blessed with the privilege of living on this earth for that long, there's only so much you can do at 80 years old fast. But he was rightfully elected as the 46th president of the United States of America, which is a position that demands a sense of urgency from a divided constituency who don't have the luxury of guaranteed jobs, investments, or foresight into what tomorrow is going to bring. And quite frankly, most of them don't think they're going to be 80 years old. They want to live that long. But if you do want to make a promise, so if you do make a promise to do something, as the president of the United States, you need to make sure that it gets done expediently or run the risk of losing confidence from the same people that voted you into office. That being said, it's been 6 months now since President Biden announced a 3-step plan to pardon all federal simple cannabis possession offenses. The move faced a fair amount of criticism as being toothless from a federal standpoint, and he urged all governors to do the same at the state level and launch a review into cannabis scheduling under Controlled Substances Act, CSA, ahead of today's 420 holiday. 85 industry advocacy organizations wrote a letter aimed at nudging Biden to move forward on his promise to enact cannabis policy reform and officially reschedule, not deschedule, but reschedule, federally reschedule cannabis once and for all. Looking to push for federal action, the coalition of local, state, and national groups letter started off with a strong call tying descheduling to economic, civil rights, and righting the nation's past wrongs, all issues that Biden campaigned on and regularly promotes himself as being down with. Here's how it started. We urge you and your administration to take the steps necessary to deschedule marijuana in conjunction with other administrative actions that center Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. Additionally, we implore your administration to support comprehensive marijuana reform legislation in Congress, such as the Cannabis Administration and Opportunity Act, the CAOA, a bill that deschedules marijuana, repairs the past harms of prohibition, and provides a regulatory framework for marijuana markets. If you guys have time, go ahead and read the letter. It's like 10 pages long. I don't think Joe Biden even got through 3 pages of that, but they did it. And per the article, the letter called out Biden's pardons as excluding many non-citizens currently facing immigration consequences, including mandatory detention of deportation due to minor cannabis possession convictions. And beyond descheduling, it urged Biden and his administration to facilitate comprehensive reform rooted in equity. This would include automatic expunging federal cannabis cases and creating pathways to resentencing and release. We all here know that rescheduling at this point is not the way, but descheduling is the only path forward to salvaging the industry and protecting the folks that actually fought so hard to make it this far and not give everything up to major corporations and big pharma. But at the end of the day, America's an oligarchy, and the paltry amount of lobbying money that's come from the industry ain't even a drop in the bucket compared to the gallons dumped on Congress routinely by the same industries threatened by cannabis eating into their bottom lines. Personally, I don't think the letter will do much to move the needle for old Joe, who's been anti-cannabis from the jump, but the more publicized, coordinated efforts from folks who actually care about the industry and care about the future, the better. This is Rico Lamitte, the dopest dad on the street. Interested in hearing what the rest of the team thinks of this one. Happy 420.
I do love the number of people that signed that letter.
Yeah.
I mean, are we sure that those were all live people that actually signed that letter?
You think they were bots?
Are you sure we're not on Fox News?
I'm just saying, you know, it could have been like all those anonymous voters, all those dead voters that vote. That just
It was a long list of organizations, and 85 is a strong number too. So I mean, the more we can do coordinated, I guess, actions like that, the better. Especially taking a page from Gretchen's book, send a letter, right, Gretchen?
Mm-hmm.
I love a letter.
What is the letter of the day?
Do something. Wake up, Joe. Get out of the basement. Start caring about pot more than your bullshit pardon speech that you love to give everywhere that means nothing.
I heard he's going to announce his run for presidency the next week or so.
Well,
yeah, your mic's breaking.
Is he going to announce it, or is his deep fake number 3 going to announce it?
I'm curious. Fine with either or. I think the deep fake is way more entertaining.
Oh yeah, I agree. He's better looking for sure.
Right? Like he's on that Zaza.
It's just more talk and more begging. Sounds like begging to me. I hate to say it, but man, nothing's changing, and I don't have to say it. You know, it's like, can we write more letters? Can we make more, public declarations that we believe? But at the end of the day, people are still locked up. People are still being locked up. We're still talking about bullshit rescheduling. I'm sorry.
That's right. Bullshit rescheduling. Anyone that supports rescheduling should just stop. They might as well just join Project Sam and start contributing to them.
Whatever that is, but I agree with you there wholeheartedly. Rescheduling is
group in America.
Say that again, Jason.
I said Project Sam is the largest prohibitionist group in America.
Project Sam.
Yeah.
What does their lobbying effort look like, man, right now?
Very extensive.
How many millions?
Very extensive. They got big bread. Yep.
We got to get our paper up, man.
I mean, we need some 280E relief so we can actually get the paper up.
You got to get Puerto Rico on board, man. They don't deal with 280E.
I mean, frankly, while I always say it is about the money, we love the money. You have to show up. You have to have a voice.
Yes.
That is how you get heard. And you'll hear all about it in my upcoming story.
Can't wait. And I want to update from Lobby Day.
You want to see my swollen dogs? Oh my God, my feet are killing me.
You've been missed, Gretchen.
I have been pounding the pavement, pounding those marble halls, and it's not a pretty sight.
What we really want to see is the outfit that you chose to wear on Lobby Days. We want to see the shoes that you wore. Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Dress the dogs.
Yeah.
For Lobby
they got Balenciaga shoes on.
No, you got to have some flats. You need some wedges for support. Now this gives you some height to elongate the legs for the older gentlemen in the crowd who want to see a little leg. And I'm not opposed to showing a little leg if it gets me some cannabis reform. I'm all about it. I worked for Fox.
Hell yeah, honeypot that shit.
I'm trying to get back to the days.
However, day 2, we're down to the flats.
little coach wear.
Still
there.
smart.
Yeah, I still gotta look like we're not bums.
We're more serious.
I see you out there.
You were gone for 3 days though, Gretchen.
Well, I know, and trust me, there's been a lot of work.
Day 3.
But then what happens on day 3 with the feet?
Yeah.
Day 3, I went back to the wedges. You'll hear
it.
why.
You said it.
Day
3 is what?
Cory Booker. It's like,
Day
We needed those legs.
we needed the legs today.
Dr. Mary?
Salad for lunch.
You'll see. You'll find out. It's all good stuff.
Day 3 is defeat.
The feet. My feet. Well, my feet are tired. Yes.
Feet.
We're not accepting defeat. No. We are making progress.
Shout out to all the men out there with foot fetishes. It is not me. Let's keep this party going, man. It is 4:20 and the energy is high at 9 this morning. You got your mic together, Jason? We good?
Yeah, we're going to a commercial. We'll be right back.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is? That's right. It's Tuesday over here at Green Street, and we got Smoky Vanilla with us in the building. So that's right. It is time to stretch and smoke. We just got done smoking. Now we're going to stretch it out, and then we're going to smoke again.
Let's go. I'm Smoky Vanilla with my background in kinesiology and bodywork massage and assisted stretching. You got to come check it out, baby. Check me out on IG. It's Smoky Vanilla 1, Stretch and Smoke. Twitter, Smoky Vanilla. Social Club, Stretch and Smoke. We're also on Sports Recovery by Dan and Jam.
If you want to feel as good as I look, then make sure that you get a stretch and smoke in with Smoky Vanilla.
Yeet!
How long was that commercial? And I don't need to see Jason Beck's.
Oh shit! That was a great commercial.
Well, I mean,
I loved that commercial.
You gotta fill the
What did I
void.
just
You gotta
say?
fill the void provided. I love when you ain't stretching with Gretchen.
I was like, what is Jason Beck about to do? Some yoga and smoking, but no, even better, just getting worked on, getting a stretch. And if you want to feel as good as I look,
Yeah.
With Jason Beck is Broga.
I feel like it's April Fool's Day. That was a weird commercial.
That was fantastic. What are you talking about? That was the greatest commercial ever shot at Green Street.
That's a great commercial.
The history of commercials.
For sure.
But y'all know who it is. Broadcasting live today with Melania's lookalike, the highest Republican in the game, known for smoking on the best weed in the world and getting real, real weird on tables with Smoky Vanilla. Up next is the longest continuously operating retailer in the game, Jason Beck.
Oh, yeah. And as promised, I promised you all a cookie story today, and so I will be delivering that. But I do want to make special note today that this is coming from Weed Week, and I want to encourage everyone to go over to Weed Week to check out this article. It is behind a paywall, and they have a very, very, very secure paywall, so you are going to have to get through that in order to read this. But I do want to encourage everybody to go and check it out over there, because on the eve of 420, Cookie's founder and CEO Berner posted a video to his 2 million Instagram followers. Last year, as he publicly fought colon cancer, he revealed that he was also privately fighting for his company. In a quote, "When I got sick, I think that a group of predatory investors saw a good opportunity to make a move on me and the leadership over at Cookies," he said from his Couchlock Network studio. "They have attempted to sabotage my name and everything I represent and spent all these years building," he claims. Berner founded Cookies in 2019 with grower Jai, and in the decades since, it's grown to be widely recognized as the world's best-known cannabis brand. It has opened shops in Israel and Thailand, as well as in many states and in Canada. The company's rapid growth owes in part to a strategy of licensing its brand IP to operators rather than owning the licenses themselves. Last year, Berner, born Gilbert Malam, was the first weed executive to appear on the cover of Forbes. Now, in an effort to remove him and his team, Berner says his opponents have, in quotes, made extremely false, harmful, damaging claims about me that are completely not true, he says. "I'm looking forward to the day in court that we can prove that these claims are false," he said. "They're fucking bullshit," he says. Without naming any people or organizations, he describes himself as being squeezed by a, in quotes, loan to own model. "These guys are trying to put me and my company in the corner and starve us out." Another quote, "It's not going to work," Berner said, thanking investors who are still with him. "Shame on the people that claim their legacy. Cannabis guys, but are for this plant that are cooperating with and empowering this group. We're ready to fight this shit. We're ready to kick ass, he says. Cookies declined to comment further on the story. The other parties did not respond for a request to comment. And pervasive self-dealing in February, Cookies investors BR Co. and Nedco sued Berner, as well as several Cookies executives and employees and outside investment vehicles associated with the company. The first amended complaint filed in March in California court alleges breach of fiduciary duty, unjust enrichment, and other claims. Legal research supported by Unicourt, the suit alleges that Berner and other defendants leveraged the Cookies brand to engage in pervasive self-dealing without regard to conflicts of interest and strong arm and bullying others into paying them millions of dollars in personal benefits and kickbacks. Their persuasive wrongdoing, it further alleges, has lined their own pockets while causing massive losses to privately held Cookies and its shareholders. Third parties, in a quote, that dare to stand up to these demands or refuse to pay defendants are threatened, including with slanderous blasts on social media, and are refused opportunities to work with Cookies, often to the Cookies' detriment, the suit alleges. Together, the plaintiffs say they hold more than 10% of Cookies' outstanding shares, and the defendants hold a majority of outstanding shares. In one example, the lawsuit alleges Berner accepted more than $1 million in diamond jewelry as a kickback for allowing the giver to do business with Cookies, despite the relationship being against Cookies' best interest. It further alleges that Berner uses Cookies' resources to promote his personal interests outside the company. President and board member Parker Burling says Berner and CEO Ian Haberchat improperly used their company named defendant Mesh Ventures to cause Cookies to enter into affiliate transactions with Mesh Ventures portfolio companies of their own personal gain. Burling insists that Cookies and all licensors use his brother's construction company, GCI, even though GCI often costs more than double, so that he can take kickbacks. GCI sued a Cookies affiliated company last year, alleging $328,000 in unpaid bills. In a quote, if a licensor refuses to use GCI, Burling in turn refuses to allow Cookies to sign licensing agreements or do business with them. And Berner and Burling sent employees to negotiate with third parties by telling third parties that they needed to pay defendants kickbacks or give them other personal benefits in order to do business with Cookies. These tactics were used to steal cannabis strains and other intellectual property from third parties. The plaintiffs claim that they have asked for an independent investigation to determine the extent of the self-dealing and conflicts of interest, but allege the defendants have refused. The BR and Nedco lawsuit cites another California lawsuit Cookies is facing, this one filed in January for $3.8 million. The plaintiff is a unconnected Florida-based company called Cookies Retail Products, aka CRP. In December 2021, CRP claims it entered into an exclusive licensing agreement to sell Cookies branded Delta 8 products nationwide. CRP alleges, as summarized in the BR suit, that defendants forced CRP to use only suppliers that were affiliates of defendants so that the defendants could take kickbacks from their affiliate suppliers. When CRP pushed back, defendants harassed CRP and threatened to take the license away, and then purposely tanked CRP's business, defamed CRP, and stole CRP's trade secrets, they claim. As tensions climbed between CRP and Cookies, CRP suit alleges that one named defendant, its primary contact at Cookies, had the barcodes stripped off of $1 million worth of products upon asking the defendant to fix the issue. The suit alleges the defendant told CRP CEO to eat a bowl of dicks, in quotation marks, in a group text copying CRP employees. And you can read the CRP complaint legal research supported by Unicourt. And then they have also say, we've got a big fight. It's not certain that Berner was referencing to the BR Nedco lawsuit in his video. He describes himself as facing as facing a loan-to-own situation in their filing. BR and Nedco say they are equity holders in Cookies, not lenders. And however, they do not want him gone. The plaintiff's demands include that Burling and another director be removed from the 4-person board, and their other demands include an order imposing a constructive trust on all funds or gains that defendants have and or will otherwise unjustly obtain at the expense of Cookies. And in the video, Burner said he's not going anywhere, and we've got a big fight ahead of us, and I'm not scared of it, he claims. Well, what do you guys think? Is this how the cookie crumbles? This is Jason Beck reporting for High at 9 News. What do y'all think?
Oh, I was not expecting all of that. Like, I was not expecting all of that. Like, from what came of yesterday. Like I say, it's gonna be an uphill battle. They just closed their Series A last week for an undisclosed amount. Said the company has the highest valuation ever within their history. So a lot's on the line for them. So we'll stay tuned on this one. It's there's a lot more information than I was expecting.
What's that, man?
I usually say bag of rather than bowl of. When
I know. I've never heard bowl of.
No, I've used that saying for many years. Just tell people to go and eat a bowl of dicks.
A bowl of dicks is just very graphic, and it hits them where it hurts.
Like, not a there's gonna be a bowl.
Yeah,
like it's not really efficient.
No, I mean,
it's like
that's very old
that I have in my head.
Thing new.
No,
I heard
it's crazy. This is nuts. I think.
Sorry,
Mandy.
I was saying that I heard 2 weeks ago that they raised about $50 million recently. That was what this round was.
Yes, but do we know which entity of Cookies it was exactly?
Right.
Probably.
It's messy, and
we don't know this yet.
I feel like any of us who've been following the Cookies story ever since Cookies kind of came on the scene, it just seemed chaotic. It blew up so fast. I mean, there's two sides to every story, and I hate that Parker and Burner are on opposite sides. Because what they did, they all deserve a lot of credit. Parker, Burner, Jai, the first 212 investment team, they deserve a lot of credit for coming on the scene and socializing cannabis to the mainstream, with the brand. And I can see people taking advantage. I can see people making promises that they weren't able to keep. I mean, it's a massive operation, and it's messy. I hope people can keep it civil. The bowl of dicks has got me traumatized, man. Like, hopefully they can be civil.
Are you visualizing this?
Hold on, is your bowl like multicultural, or is it all?
It is. It's a plastic. Okay, let me tell you, it's a plastic blue teal Tupperware bowl. It's quite large, and there's a tapestry. Okay, in that bowl. But anyway,
I think like a lot of companies, like you got to respect Cookies hustle. Like, number one,
100%.
The way they came up, the way they did, they revolutionized the game, and coming through with the clothing first. I always bring it back to 2016 when I was up there in Northern California, driving around trying to get accounts and everything. You see like everybody with Cookies clothing on everywhere. It didn't matter like who it was. Really planting their flag everywhere with the branding game. I think they really revolutionized that. Burner's had a target on his back since the Forbes article, I think, and they're going against these multi-billion companies.
Just since then, stop it.
That's what I was gonna say.
No, I'm saying on the broad level, same thing. Everything that happens in California, is a microcosm of the whole U.S. that I believe in the cannabis industry, and just to see them get to the level that they have, I mean, you're going to have like new enemies, and new enemies going to have deeper pockets. So,
well, they've been flaunting a lot of the rules around branding. I mean, their branding is great, but you can't call a cannabis product Cookies and put it in beautiful little pastel packages. I mean, you can't do that.
I mean, like I personally,
They did, though. They
I don't
did.
go against like
Yeah.
any of it. I'm a freedom of speech absolutionist, and I think, like, if you want to take that argument, there's so many more products that you can argue down for
Well,
having
all I'm saying
image.
is when somebody does something that is outside of what is expected and they don't change it, even when they know that what they're doing is not acceptable on the market and is being used as an example of how you shouldn't do it, you should expect that they're going to do that in all the other aspects of their business.
Oh man, Elliot Lewis says,
point.
read your loan documents and your contracts. No crying about signed deals. I really wonder what you guys all think, though, in regards to the claim of the receiving jewelry in lieu for signing contracts.
I was really interested in that too. I mean, does anyone put jewelry listed in their contracts as part of the arrangement? I've never seen jewelry listed in a business agreement.
The velocity of business, like that, we just have to look at how fast these deals are happening, and absolutely they're going to cut corners. Lawyers who do their jobs take hours, days to look over contracts and go over it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure that everyone's interests are being upheld. But some of these deals just happen so quickly. I would not be surprised if it was just like, just being a human, like, yeah, we'll do a deal with this, but let's do a deal with these guys for giving us all this jewelry. I mean, I don't know. I can't say I wouldn't do it if I was in the same situation. Like, you're human beings. These are human beings running these companies, playing with a lot of money. Shit's gonna go sideways.
And we have to say these are just allegations at this point.
So we're gonna stay tuned and watch and watch.
Yeah, we gotta watch it. We gotta watch it play out because these are allegations. We haven't seen or heard all of the facts on either side. But I can just say, man, like, when you get that big, especially if you come from the place that they did, like, we're gonna try to take you down.
Well, and that's the thing.
We gotta go.
Like, this industry is always coming up for whoever's at the top. They're always got the most targets on their back.
Yep.
We to be number one. I'll be number 3.
We got to go to our next story. We have the lovely Gretchen Gailey back with us today from all of her treks on the hill. She's been scuffling around all the different offices, pounding the marble floors in her heels. That's right. She did not bring her dogs, or did you dress up your dogs and bring them into the offices too?
I did not.
And their dogs are suffering defeat too.
The dogs were not included in your excursions. That's so you just left them at home to just bark by themselves. Yes. That's right. It is the founder of Panoptic Strategies and our very own little Washington insider, Gretchen Gailey.
Well, this little Washington insider has been making big moves for the past couple days.
Big moves.
With minorities for medical marijuana. And I apologize to those of you who are looking for an amazing link to a story. I will hopefully finish writing it by the end of this show. But I'll give you the start of it. Minorities for medical marijuana urges Senator Booker to pass safe banking now. Jason Beck, can I get a pass safe banking now?
Pass safe banking already.
All righty.
Plus.
Minorities for Medical Marijuana, the largest community-based nonprofit in the cannabis and hemp industry, spent their 420 week walking the halls of Congress for their annual lobby days. The event culminated with Thursday morning's Judiciary Committee markup, where a large faction of the organization assembled to address Senator Cory Booker, one of the industry's staunchest supporters. While the group thanked him for his efforts and support, they urged the senator to also look at bringing relief to the industry by passing the Safe Banking Act and to include a provision for better access to the capital markets. We've been doing this for 7 years now, and so this is the time for us. Really, we have just got to see some incremental changes. Access to capital is the biggest issue. Safe banking is going to do that from the depository, but if we can also look at having safe havens for institutional investors and capital markets, that could be the opportunity. Because not only do I run this nonprofit, but I'm a business owner, and getting access to capital right now, it is almost impossible. This is from Roz McCarthy, the founder of Minorities for Medical Marijuana, one of our correspondents, and she is the owner of Black Buddha Cannabis. Senator Booker acknowledged the struggle exists for many minority businesses in the space. He said, one of our biggest drives, and my team knows this, is trying to make sure that entrepreneurs, especially non-traditional entrepreneurs, Black, brown folks who've been disproportionately targeted by the war on marijuana have economic opportunity. And right now, the scorecard is horrible. It's horrible, horrible. That's what the senator had to say.
Say it one more time, Gretchen.
Horrible. McCarthy went back to him. We know you support social justice and social equity opportunities, but we also have to be pragmatic about what's going to pass. And this is where we are right now. But what can we do to get incremental changes passed? Booker said, we've got a good deal. We've had one last Congress and it got stomped at the 1 yard line. It was almost there and we're working to resurrect it now and working to get it over the line this Congress. Because as I said, my team, if we have to wait another 2 years, it literally means that hundreds of businesses will go out of business. And I'm going to stop there because I'm still working on some other things there. However, I don't necessarily agree with the senator that it got stomped at the 1 yard line. Frankly, he had 2 years to get it over that damn 1 yard line, and they did nothing. Facts. So we will hope to see that more comes from this. As for minorities for medical marijuana, we managed to go to 289 offices over the past 2 days. And one thing that is sad to me is I can only think of maybe 10 offices that we walked into where folks had an invested cannabis staffer. We walk in and they're like, is that justice? Is that ag? Is that medical? These folks don't know anything. They need our help. Frankly, one office said to me, you're the first we've heard about cannabis all year, except for one other group who has shown up, and that was Constellation. That is who is lobbying the hills of Congress. If you want to have your voices heard, you must show up. These people are receptive, and if you must hijack a senator at a judiciary meeting, that's how you get it done. And this is how we are going to get it done. So please, get your asses to Washington. I will put you up at my house if need be and let you smoke in my backyard. That's what we've been doing all week. I would love to see y'all here. Even House of Fuego is here, supporting the effort. This is Gretchen for High 9 News.
Wow, man. Give big ups to Gretchen and N4M for doing the damn thing.
Doing the work.
No,
but I do like that minorities for medical marijuana is like, all right, enough. No offense, Rico. Enough of the social equity. Let's get some shit passed. And there are other ways to address social equity. It's pushing for the SBA. It's not looking at provisions that perhaps take in people's economic situations and not the color of their skin. That is how you get this shit done in Washington. If you say this is explicitly for black and brown people, Republicans are not getting on board. If you say it's for small businesses, if it's for a lower economic sectors in the space, that's how you're going to get it through. That's what needs to be done. We need to stop pushing because you love social equity. And you may have also noticed a tweet coming this morning from Politico who says that Brown is going to have a hearing on SAFE, but he's only having a hearing on SAFE, not SAFE Plus, because he runs the banking committee, and this is a banking bill, not a cannabis bill.
Oh yeah!
How you gonna tell me I love something? How you gonna tell me you inside of my heart?
I know you.
I'm all about reparations. I'm all about the philosophy behind the original philosophy of social equity in cannabis. Yes, I'm behind the philosophy of it. I'm all for all of that. However, what social equity is today compared to what we were marching for in 2016, early 2017, is spread out and it's different. It's not the same, and there's no real definition to what it is. Period.
Social equity is bullshit.
It's a buzzword, and that's what I say here all the time. And this is why I said, if you want things exclusively, reparations in any form, it's not going to be through social equity. You're not going to have generational wealth through social equity. Period. So I'm 100% with you, like on that. Don't be talking about the love in my heart, girl. What you talking about?
I know the love in your heart. Another fun comment from our meeting with Senator Booker. We bringing up some hemp provisions for the farm bill that's coming up, and his response, my favorite. This hemp stuff is kind of new to me. Are you shitting me?
Wow. That says it all. That says it all.
Senator Booker, Gretchen, I have a serious question about this.
Yes.
Who suffer from the same dementia that President Biden suffers from, because the fact that he is going to sit there and tell you guys how close they were to getting safe banking passed in the last session. And when he was the grandstander of them all to kill the bill and die on the Hill, what does he have? Is he really serious when he says this? Does he say it with a straight face?
This is what I think about Cory Booker.
It's dangerous. This is a dangerous drug.
Cory Booker is a staunch supporter of cannabis and seeing that this industry thrives. He has been in it for quite a while. He's been working this game for years. However, I don't think Cory's mouth is attached to his brain sometimes.
That's what I'm saying.
And he loves to say things before he thinks. Now, Sleepy Joe, nothing's going on up there. We all know that.
No, come on now. Come on now.
He suffers from
you talking about 46. You're talking about 46, right?
The point is, when Booker becomes more informed on issues, that's when he tends to get things more right. And so that is what we are working so hard to do. We are not looking to slap senators around, congressmen who have not been doing what they need to do. Most of these folks have no idea what they need to do. And that's why we need to be there talking about the issues, telling them what matters.
Yeah, that's true though. And Gretchen, thank you so much for taking your time to go do that. That's
real talk.
A big, important piece of what is missing. There's not enough people going to Capitol Hill and talking about this plant and doing it in a consistent manner and in a way that is meaningful. The other thing that's very important that I think that you lightweight touched on, which is know your audience. Do a tiny bit of research about what the values are of that particular person that you're going to visit, and tailor your talk to what matters to them.
And many of the offices we went into, we knew going in, this is a cannabis supporter, this is just a safe banking supporter, this is just a hemp supporter. And that's what we focused on. We weren't there to slap people around. We were there to help them understand what we were looking for and how we can be a resource, how we can connect them to people in the industry. If they would like to speak to a grower, if they want to meet, I would talk to Abigail Spamberger's folks who want to meet hemp growers in Virginia. And we're like, we will find them and hook you up so you can understand what farmers are facing. These people truly have no idea and they want to know. If, number one, the best thing to do is talk to your members. They love constituents. All of them, every meeting we go into, are you from the state? Are you from the state? No, but we're a national organization. But when we had people from that state in the room, they perked up. So that is important. I don't care if cannabis isn't illegal in your state or you don't have anything going on in that state. You have to be there and talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to go to a commercial.
Absolutely.
We're going to be right back.
Keeping up to date on the evolving policies of relevant state, local, and federal governments is key to success. When the future of your business is at stake, you need representation as dedicated as you are. With a maze of laws and regulations surrounding cannabis, hemp, and psychedelics, knowing where to begin can be a challenge. Good Thing the Law offices of Omar Figueroa features a skilled, highly focused team ready to guide you through it all. They're accepting new clients in California and New York. So make sure you check them out at info@omarfigueroa.com.
Oh, yeah, we want to take this moment to remind everybody, make sure you go and hit that like button down below. Make sure you have subscribed to our channel if you have not subscribed already. And we want to make sure that you go and check out our website, www.highat9news.com. Make sure you tell us and let us know what you're doing for 420 because we are doing a 420 giveaway. Make sure you share and tag us in your photos so we can repost them on Instagram and all of that hyphy stuff for 420.
What are we giving away?
Control Tower from Highly Educated has perfected the dab. Utilizing the concept of thin film evaporation, you can waste none of it and taste all of it. The micro texture of the SE pillar increases nucleation at elevated temperatures. And with the tower propelling at 2,600 RPMs, it's certainly the most efficient dab experience to date. The Control Tower from Highly Educated.
What are we going to be giving away, Jason?
Come on, Rico.
She is the CEO of Balance Medicinals, a 25-year board-certified integrative medicine internist and two-time best-selling author. And in her spare time, you can catch her walking around Central Park with a selfie stick, going live. Y'all know who it is. Coming to the stage next, Dr. Mary Clifton.
Hi, everybody. Welcome from New York City. My article is from Marijuana Moment, written by Kyle Yeager. He really is prolific. We have a really valuable person in that journalist for our organization. And the article is bipartisan lawmakers file congressional bill to legalize medical marijuana for military veterans. Bipartisan House and Senate lawmakers are refiling bills to legalize medical marijuana for military veterans, the latest in a series of cannabis measures that have been introduced this week leading up to the 420 holiday. This was backed by 12 co-sponsors, but particularly by Representative Barbara Lee, Democrat from California, and Senator Brian Schatz, a Democrat from Hawaii, as the leading companion measure filed on Wednesday. The bill will temporarily allow veterans to legally possess and use cannabis under federal law as recommended by doctors in accordance with that state law. Physicians with the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs would also be allowed for the first time to issue recommendations. Further, the measure would allow the VA to study the therapeutic potential of marijuana for pain and PTSD. In 41 states and in territories in Washington, D.C., doctors and their patients can use medical marijuana to manage pain and treat a wide range of diseases, including PTSD, unless the doctor works for the VA and their patients are veterans. This bill protects veteran patients and in these jurisdictions and gives the VA doctors the option to prescribe medical marijuana to veterans. They're also talking about how they are committed to supporting the nation's veterans when they return from service with safe, effective medicines in states where this product was legal. So a good bill to reintroduce to provide our veterans, many of whom are dealing with chronic pain and PTSD, to give them better relief from their symptoms in a most natural way. What do y'all think?
I mean,
I
absolutely. For veterans, there should be just no question whatsoever that cannabis should be accessible for veterans and covered by insurance in the VA. I mean, it just is no brainer.
So that's what this bill is. That's what this bill is proposing, that these veterans would their cannabis care would be covered by the VA, despite where the veteran lives.
What is the likelihood that this will get passed?
Well, only in the 41 states, Liz, where you can because we're all aware of what your situation is. But in 80% of the country, it's different.
Yes.
Although, I was looking at Texas and the compassionate care program there, but chronic pain isn't listed. I mean, it's like multiple sclerosis, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, seizures. It's a very limited compassionate care program.
Yeah, that's
Gretchen,
right.
what do you think? What do you think the likelihood of this getting passed is?
We're working to grow it.
I don't think this got a chance in hell of passing.
Let's be positive. We need this to pass. You guys, the veterans need this to pass.
I'm sorry, I was not listening.
What do you think the probability of this passing is, Gretchen?
What is it?
It's the bill for veterans to legally use. But I think a lot of veterans
use what?
Cannabis. To get a
not happening, never happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
When it comes to the veterans, all you're going to get out of them is research. When you want more for veterans, you got to legalize the entire spiel, because the administration is not going to say, oh, this part of the administration, this part of our federal system is allowed. That ain't happening. You need the whole thing to work for the VA to get on board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a great explanation.
That makes sense.
Exactly.
This bill is dead. It's a dead duck in the water.
Don't be
great
negative.
Don't
put haterade on it. Doesn't need any help being hated on.
I'm not putting any haterade on it. I'm putting reality on it.
But we also need to remind veterans that you can get a cannabis card. It's not going to affect your veterans benefits. You just can't get it from your VA doctor. But you can get a card and use cannabis medically without any impact on your VA benefits.
And due to recent court rulings by different courts, it's not going to affect your ability to own a firearm either.
Well, not exactly.
No.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
No, that's not how it works. Just because a judge makes a ruling doesn't make it a law.
feel like we're
Come
ready.
on.
I'm just telling you, girl.
Right.
You're
Yeah.
telling. Let's try some facts.
We're gonna go to a commercial. We'll be right back.
I love facts.
Yep, I bet you do.
How's it going, guys? Saman Razani coming to you from Green Street here with Jason Beck, smoking on the best weed in the world. Did you know that we have an audio-only version of our podcast available on Apple, Google, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and Spotify? Tune in now and check it out.
Oh yeah, coming up next, we have the founder of the podcast Feminized, where she talks to lovely ladies all about weed and has a pretty big story from today from the great red state of Texas. That's right, it is none other than Liz Grow.
Thank you. I appreciate that beautiful intro, Jason. But I talked to the dopest women in cannabis, like Mandy Tingler and Gretchen Gailey. So that's what Feminized is all about. But today, you guys, happy 420. I'm so excited that 420 fell on a Thursday this week, so I could be here with y'all and tell you about what's going on in Oklahoma City. You guys, this story comes from High at 9 News. So Choco lovers and cannabis enthusiasts, get ready for a treat like no other, because Oklahoma City is about to unveil today the Big Zen. This is the largest, most potent, and most expensive cannabis-infused chocolate bar ever created. It's priced at a cool $42,000. This 420-pound 9 by 4 foot masterpiece contains a whopping 100 pounds of cannabis flower and 4.2 million milligrams of THC. The High at 9 News team interviewed the man behind the chocolatey marvel, Jeremy Zachary. And Jeremy says, "We like being at the top of our game and raising the bar for the industry. If you're itching to get your hands on this record-breaking edible, just a reminder, you'll need a forklift." Creating the Big Zen was no easy task either. It took 12 40-gallon vats of milk chocolate, 12 hardworking folks, and a whole lot of dedication to make this dream come true. So let's raise our joint, you guys, today to the Zen Cannabis chocolate bar, groundbreaking. I'm sure this is going into Guinness Book of World Records on 420. I mean, it just... Cheers to that. What do you guys think about this chocolate bar?
First of all, I want to buy it.
Get a picture of this.
Second of it, is this what you're trying to give away for our 420 raffle, Jason?
No, we are not.
Right? That was my question. Like, okay, what's going to happen now? Like,
we're mainly not giving the candy bar away because we're not going to pay for shipping.
No.
And
you can't trust shipping a chocolate bar that big. Man, but leave it to Oklahoma. Leave it to Oklahomans to just be like, you know what? Like, what can we do to like show the world?
Too. I mean, in addition to being such a sexy idea, a great big chocolate bar, then it's got 420 repeated all the way through it. It's just so cool.
That is.
I know, the Zen bar.
Yeah, they did great work. Good for them.
Yeah, shout out to
congrats. Congrats, Zen bar.
Big love to them.
420 story.
I like
and it's
it.
the biggest bar coming from being delivered by
shit! There it is.
Oh
there
my
it is.
goodness! Look at that.
Like, wow.
I love that.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Look at that thing.
It would
Slabs on
probably be
slabs.
better as a milk chocolate. It looks a little too milk chocolatey. I would usually eat something darker, but if you have that many milligrams of cannabis, flower-derived THC, you probably do need that sugary, milky chocolate there.
Does anyone think it's
and that's
not scored? It's not scored for dosage.
That's kind of irresponsible.
You lick it.
Irresponsible.
You gotta lick it, Jason.
Before you kick it.
I want a lab test.
Hey, I'm close. I'm close to Oklahoma City. I'll just drive right on up, y'all, and report live for High at 9 News. I love that was an original High at 9 News story too. Okay,
Yeah,
very cool. More of that stuff.
We got to keep it. We got to keep it rocking here to stay within the time frame. Up next, he is a conservative Wisconsin-rooted, Fresno-based raptivist and fellow dope dad. He never lowers his voice when speaking for the people, and he will not allow the haters and race baiters in Joe Biden's America block out the black side of liberty. Y'all can do the math. He's here to deliver the language arts. Up next, y'all know who it is. Nickolas, the Governor Wildstar.
There's a new push to make marijuana legal in North Carolina. A bill was filed in the State House looking to legalize the sale and regulation of the herb that's already legal in 21 states. Those filing the bill said legalizing marijuana opens the door to a billion-dollar industry, millions of dollars in tax revenue that can be reinvested back in North Carolina to support schools, healthcare, and other local services like transportation. People have been smoking cannabis from time immemorial, and up until the 1930s, it was essentially legal, Representative Kelly Alexander said. What we're trying to do now is to restore that legality. Alexander is one of the sponsors of the bill 626, which aims to legalize and regulate the sale, possession, and use of cannabis in North Carolina. This is not the 18th century, he continued. We don't need to put a scarlet letter on people for the use of a naturally occurring product that more and more people see as having a medical benefit and a personal benefit. Alexander said keeping cannabis illegal disproportionately impacts people of color who are more likely to be arrested for possession. Supporters say legalizing marijuana will essentially save the state money and resources it would use to arrest, prosecute, and jail people for using a product that is legal in almost half of the country. It's time for us to allow citizens who want to indulge in the use of cannabis to be able to do so without stigma and without fear of being arrested, Alexander said. Paul Armentano is the deputy director for NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws, and he agrees with those sentiments. It makes no sense to use limited prosecutorial resources to target, prosecute, and incarcerate individuals for their possession and use of a substance that's objectively safer than alcohol or tobacco, Armentano said. He added the cannabis industry currently supports about 450,000 full-time jobs. In fact, we have twice as many people who are now working full-time in the state licensed cannabis industry than we have dentists in America, Armentano said. The industry also generates some big bucks for the state where it's legal. For example, in Colorado, the first state to legalize cannabis, marijuana tax revenue has brought in over $2.4 billion since 2014. That money goes to healthcare, law enforcement, and renewing and replacement deteriorating public schools. States now have generated an estimated $12 billion in new tax revenue due to taking these markets from being underground markets and taking them above ground and making them transparent, legal, regulated markets, Armentano said. These are efforts Prime Sunshine CBD founder and CEO Ellen Tacker is in favor of. It is not necessarily the marijuana that people are smoking, Tacker explained. It's the cannabinoids and all the parts, the material inside the plant that is helpful for the entire human body. Her business has been in Charlotte for nearly 10 years selling various CBD products, which are legal in the state. What this opens the door to is access for people who have fibromyalgia, rheumatoid arthritis, people who suffer from migraines, sleeping problems, anxiety, and depression, Tacker said. You can still get all that help you need from our products, but the THC from the marijuana plant is extremely helpful. Armentano said the legalization of marijuana allows for control and a safer product for consumers. Legalization doesn't create consumer demand for cannabis. It doesn't even create the marijuana market, Armentano said. That demand in the market already exists in North Carolina and in every state in this country. The question is, who do we want to put in control of that market? This is Nick Wildstar, aka the Governor, reporting for the High at 9 News Hour. Speak now or forever hold your peace. I got to go to work.
This is I thought like North Carolina, South Cackalack, I thought they were going to be the last to move forward on this, but given Altria's most recent earnings call and how they're going to be putting $5 billion into quote unquote healthier methods of consumption, I can see them putting some real money behind this, and this might get passed quicker than we think. Shout out Tobacco Road.
I mean, you think it's going to get passed quicker, huh?
If Big Tobacco is saying that they're moving towards cannabis, I would say that North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, and you're going to see a lot quicker action down there.
Yeah.
Money talks.
Yeah, we need to get Big Tobacco and Big Pharma in here if we're going to move things forward.
Ugh.
They're in not so cryptically on their last earnings call.
It sucks that we need that, but we do. You know, we do. Why can't the cannabis industry like support itself and support its own lobbying? You know, it just sucks to say, hey, we got to get in bed with Philip Morris, guys, if we want to. And I understand that that's the way the world works and that's the way business works and laws change, you know, but it's just like, God, to think that we need Big Pharma, you know, for a plant that has been used as a healing remedy for thousands of years. It just sucks.
Well, they run the government. It just occurs to me that we should work with the NRA to allow people who use cannabis to be able to have guns.
100%. I've been saying that forever.
Absolutely. 100%. And in Texas, the leader of a pretty big organization here is a very big supporter of cannabis. And there are things happening behind the scenes with guns and cannabis in Texas. I think, like Mary, what you said is just, I think it carries a lot of weight. Like it opens up minds when we're talking about freedom and our rights, you know, so that's fun.
I love what you said, the NRA. However, and trust me, I'm totally on board with the NRA, but we have to look at folks and like Rico's reaction. We need to get the industry to stop reacting like Rico. Frankly,
you got to give the NRA to stop being racist. How about that?
People. I don't.
There's a reason why. There's a reason why.
Have you ever
black
heard of a
folks
little
created
thing
their
called?
own.
There are black people in the NRA.
100%
there are.
Stubbornness.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's work.
Yes, there are black people in the NRA. There are black people in NRA. And what is the NRA saying about these police shootings? What are they saying? Did they say a damn word about Trayvon Martin? No.
We need to breathe, though. We need to breathe. And we can't crucify people for what they didn't say. We can't crucify people for what they didn't say, Rico. They are put on this earth to protect our gun rights.
When people are asking them,
I know that silence is violence.
Within their own organization, when people within their own organization are asking them to say something, and they say not a damn thing about it.
People within their organization. How about the people are the organization?
All right.
These are things that are affecting our communities right now, and if it's affecting our communities right now, we're going to say something about it.
I hear you, and it's working. It's happening. It's happening. People are saying.
You know what will move the NRA, Rico, to the direction that you would like to see them head? Your wallet. Become a member. Give them money. Tell them this is what you want, because the NRA needs money and they need to keep their lobby alive. And if we want to pivot towards,
they need to clean house.
If we want them to pivot towards gun laws that you would like to see, you need to become a voice.
Rico, maybe you should become a member and start running for a position in the NRA.
Yes.
To change.
Nickolas Wildstar. Governor Wildstar.
I am a member of NAGA. I'm not a member of NRA.
Are you down to join the NRA for the cause?
Nope.
Nick, are you with us?
I'm part of a Black gun owners association.
I hear you, but you can't change anything, Rico, from the outside. You gotta be willing to get inside and get your hands dirty.
Rico has it
dirty.
We're at the top. We are at the top of the hour. Nickolas Wildstar, a final word for the NRA thing, Mr. Conservative.
He left.
There he is. Hold on. There he is. Nicholas, are you going to join the NRA?
No, I'd rather join NAGA, like Rico was in the national.
I am a member of NAGA, so like, nah, I'm good. I'm good on the NRA, man. Like, no.
Okay.
So
keep losing the game, then, Rico. Keep losing.
Change.
These are fresh wounds. This is not like something that happened like a long time ago or something like that.
Nick has to say. Nick, what do you have to say?
I was saying it would be dope if they did step up to the plate and actually, make statements on behalf of these tragedies that occur across the cultural scope involving guns, And instead of just labeling black on black or whatever the case may be, gun violence is gun violence, and it happens across the nation, period, people. No matter what your community looks like, it's gun violence. But you also need gun protection for the legal gun holders. There are more than actual criminals who are going to get a gun regardless of that. So it would be great for the organization to step up and say that unilaterally, and also advocate for those cannabis users who have their gun rights taken away.
That's why you need to be in NRA, Governor Wildstar.
No, hold on. When we don't feel safe in spaces, we create our own spaces. That's what we do. So we gotta go now. We are at the top of the hour. Thank you all for tuning in with us for yet another episode of High at 9 News special on this 420 holiday. Y'all can catch us weekdays, 9 a.m. Pacific, high noon on the East Coast. Big shout out to our live audience members and online supporters tuning in and giving us feedback on the daily headlines of chaos, also known as the developing cannabis industry. To our vetted industry correspondent team, tuning in from all over the global community, bringing us much needed variety of perspective and adding your respected opinions to the conversation. To our production team, Cloud Media Partners, House of Fuego, the wonderful Jaja Simone, and then all of our sponsors. And Jason getting weird with today. Getting stretched out. I love it. Tell Vanilla I said what up. To our haters out there, we love y'all, man. It's 420. Let's get together and smoke a blunt together. To the NRA to smoke a blunt with us. We can talk about the right things to say to be inclusive with the black community, and maybe we will join arms with your organization. But until then, F y'all. And finally, Cannabis Sativa L. Even though they don't want to legally bank your value, we know you're worth every damn penny that we spend on you. Make sure you guys get out there, smoke some good stuff today. It is Thursday, April 20th, 2023, and the show is over. You've been blessed with the top industry headlines. And Gretchen, you were out on the Hill. Send these people home with something for 420.
What I would love for you to do for your 420 is tune in today at 4 o'clock to the CWCB Expo LinkedIn or Facebook live stream, where I will be interviewing one of my favorites, Redman, who will be talking about the United Empowerment Party and the work that he was doing here on the Hill yesterday. So we're getting him out there, and he is talking, and I would love for y'all to hear what Redman is also trying to do to get this industry moving on 420.
That would also be 1 p.m. Pacific, Gretchen.
Big Reggie Noble.
And I will have you on your way by 420 to enjoy your 420. So please, come on.
Yes, indeed. All right, y'all. Much love.
Happy 420, y'all.
Happy 420.
Peace.